Canone's been the talk of the town of late after owners rejected a $2.5 million bid for the horse. Are you pleased to see him stay in Australia and with the Waller camp?
Oh, for sure. He looks like a pretty exciting galloper with a lot of untapped potential, and he arrived here on Monday morning at the Gold Coast. He arrived in great order. He settled in really well. He just had a light trot and canter this morning, just took his legs over, and we're really happy with him. He's a very progressive horse, hasn't turned a hair since arriving, so hopefully he can put his best foot forward on Saturday.
Let's talk about Profit's work. It looked extremely sharp. What did you clock him at?
Yeah, he's come up a little bit quicker than anticipated, but he's home in 23, his last two furlongs. But his horse, Benny, you look at the way in which he works and you don't think he's doing a lot, and he just does it so effortlessly. Mm-hmm. And he's always very surprising with, to the riders with the times he does run. He's a horse, and I think 2 starts back he showed how much class he has, where he really shouldn't have won that race at the Sunshine Coast. It was unbelievable that day, and he'll be midfield to back. I think we've just got to ride these horses really conservatively. I think they'll be very, very hard to beat.
Well, Chris, you galloped Smart Meteor on the course proper this morning. You're out there yourself as well, galloped with a partner of Gaze. You rode Gaze.
Yeah, I rode Gaze and Justin rode Smart Meteor. It was probably a really nice gallop. They both, I thought, got into their rhythm quite well, but what impressed me was the way they quickened up when they straightened. So overall, I was pretty pleased with how they both performed.
The gun's in, of course, an 1,800 metre race. You'd be very confident with Smart Meteor's chances of running top 5, I would imagine.
Well, I hope he goes better than top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's got a bit of a sense of timing about him, this horse. I think he's coming into his own now that the distances are starting to get a bit longer.
A lot of these horses have got lovely mile form, but it's that extra step, and your guy's already won up to 2,000.
Yeah, well, he's won at 2,000, and I'd say that, even in the Grand Prix 2,200, he probably should have finished a lot closer in that. He got back in a slowly run race and got stuck behind a 100-to-1 pop that took him nowhere. So I thought his run in the Grand Prix was very, very good.
Well, Steve, you've stepped a couple out on the course proper at Eagle Farm this morning. I speak of Got a Kiss and Tumbler Ridge. What did you think of the work?
Yeah, I was really pleased with their work. I thought it was good, strong work. Tumbler led the work up and just got the filly to sit off. She worked in Winkers for the first time today, so just mentioned last start, just want to have a little inclination to sort of lay in. She's done that in a few of her starts and just probably lacking a little bit of focus towards the end. So she worked in that, as I say, she worked in that gear this morning, and Steph said she definitely sort of went a lot straighter at the end of her work, so that was good to see. And yeah, look, I was really pleased with both horses' work.
Tony, Eagle Farm course proper open this morning. You gave Vega 1 a little dash up. How did he work?
Yeah, he worked quite nice. Didn't want to sort of empty the tank today, so let him tick over nicely. It's his 3rd run into his prep this weekend, so he's where he needs to be.
He looked very happy cruising along out there.
Yeah, he was. His horse enjoys getting out on that surface, and he worked nicely, did everything we wanted, and he come through it well.
What sort of work did you do with him?
He's worked over 1,000 and just run up his last 2 very comfortably.
Obviously, he was brilliant second up in the BRC sprint. I mean, tempo against him. He sort of had the flashing light, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's really a horse. If we can draw a gate with him, we can ride him a lot closer. He was first out in the BRC sprint, and just from gate 10, we had to be back and be a bit negative on him. And so hopefully for his next 2 assignments this weekend in the Stradbroke, he can draw in a bit closer, and you'll see him race a lot closer in the run.
Isotope. She's unbeaten at this stage. She's the hype horse of Brisbane. How's she going?
She's done really well. She worked this morning quite early at Eagle Farm on the A-Grass and Company and did everything I wanted to see. So her main hit out was last Wednesday between races here at Doomben. I thought she worked strongly there, and she's in great shape for the weekend.
And how do you think she lines up in this field?
It's a pretty strong race. Obviously the strongest race she's been in, and obviously out to a distance she hasn't been to as well in 1,200. So I think there's plenty of anticipation about this weekend's race, and I think she'll hold herself well.
Rothfire and Deep Image worked together. They went evens 1,000 and they just ran up the 400. They did it in under 23. But I got them about 25.6, but it's a little hard when they're coming straight at you. But it was really, really sharp work, and he's where I need him to be.
The Trent Tyzone comes up against a similar field to last start and shapes as another Stradbroke prelude. What are you hoping to see from him this week?
I think we'll see a vastly improved performance. I thought his run the other day was pretty good. And that's what we wanted to see from him, ridden steady and then really let rip to the line. And he didn't get beaten far, took good benefit out of it. So, he's close to his peak for Saturday, nearly ready to go.
Winter Bride returned from New Zealand with a super impressive Group 2 run on a heavy track and followed that up with a comfortable trial win a few weeks ago. What can we expect to see from her as the winter campaign ramps up?
I'm looking forward to racing her on the weekend. If she draws a barrier, I think she'll take a power of beating. A super classy mare, a couple of gear changes, going to take the earmuffs off her for the first time ever. She's basically got a couple of runs left in her career, so we want to try and make them really count, and just think that maybe taking the earmuffs off might just give her that next dimension, and hopefully we get a result.